before I even go too far, do you see that I have like an account suspended at the end of that's probably that's probably important, right? 7 Branchwood Lane. 585-415-291. 9371. That's what I was telling you when I first called. I put it on hold in April, and then something seems to have gone wrong with that. I don't know what. No. All right. Sounds reasonable.
Hi guys, welcome to my live. How are you guys doing today? How are your love lives or lack thereof? How's your studies of women and the female gaze been going? How's life within male culture? Is anyone trying to bully you and push you down in the hierarchy, or are the pressures getting to you? Let me know, guys. Seriously though. Um, we got something from Brian, but it's not really a question, Brian. So he says, "Are you answering questions?" Then he says, "I'm sad and lonely, tired of dating." No doubt, Brian. I know the feeling, and I no doubt as a man, you guys got it way worse in many respects. In some respects, it's a little different, but doesn't surprise me at all. So if you have a question about it, let me know. But just support, because it's not easy. Okay, it's very competitive. It's very frustrating. You waste a lot of money. You go down a lot of dead ends. So support. Rand says, "Do you have any recommendations for dating coaches?" Well, I consider myself a dating coach these days, so you could always get a consultation with me. Another person who I hear is good from somebody that I talked to is, damn it, I think it's called. Why do I? Why am I blanking on the name? Is it called the Superior? Let me just look this up real quick because, damn it. I feel like it was called like the Superior Man, but I'm not sure. No. How do I forget this? I'm gonna have to research it. Sorry about that. I'm literally having a brain blank on this one coach that I've been recommending to people. I don't know why I cannot think of it right now. I'm sorry, guys. But you know what? If I remember, I'm gonna make a note to myself and then I'll tag it in the live. Okay, put it in the description. find that dating coach who I hear is like really, really good. But I can definitely help you for in my consultations. Just there's a lot of basics we can go through, and if you want to get like more intensive coaching where somebody's like watching you and giving you feedback, there are people out there who do that too. Candid ops is something very obnoxious and annoying, which I guess he's doing to try to be funny, but it's really not the vibe here. My bitch retrieval rate has jumped 300% after watching your vids. I'm very disappointed to hear that, honestly, the way you're talking like that. Evie says, fun fact, I am disabled. I use a stick to walk. I didn't know that, Evie. I did not know that. So is a stick kind of like a cane and if you don't mind me asking, what is your disability? I'm curious. Gabby N64 says, hey, what it is, I haven't been on a date since January. What, Gabby? I'm mad. I'm actually angry that you're telling me this. Why not? This is terrible. We got to get you on one within the week or within the month maximum. Zuhair says, what? A book? I'm not sure what you're referring to, Zuhair. David Gonzalez says, hi, Victoria. Always nice to see you. You are always a welcome sight in my YouTube feed. Hello, David Gonzalez. Same to you. Love when you join the lives. I responded to you on Ko-fi yesterday because I had stupidly missed your Ko-fi, and I really appreciate that, and it's great to see you. Andy Chow says, The Art of the Superior Man, David Dayton. No, 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 not that, Andy. I absolutely hate that book. I think he's a terrible dating coach. I would not recommend that dude. Not at all. Not a good book, in my opinion. Well, if you want to read it for entertainment, fine, but I wouldn't try to use that to like succeed with women. Honestly, I'm not just saying that. It's not the way of Superior Man. I have read it. Selena Scarlet Stardust stopped in to say hello and good work. Always real and full of good info. Thank you so much, Selena. And would I be right in assuming you are a woman or female, as we call them on these lives? I love when women stop by, so thank you so much, Selena, for joining in. And I'm curious, Selena, how did you find the channel, and what do you think of it? Because I always like to hear from women, like what their take is, because obviously 99% of people are men who watch the channel. So Gabian64 says it happens. Candid Op says Patrice O'Neill. What about him? Because I recently watched his stand-up special. Really got a good look into who Patrice O'Neill really was. Evie says, Vic, why do I find you so attractive today? Oh God, Evie, I don't know. Brian says, I've had coaching with Todd V, Coach Kyle, Gabriel Gray, playing with fire, and a bit of Ultimate Man Project. That's what it was, Ultimate Man Project, Brian. Thank you for letting me know. Thank you for reminding me and jogging my memory, because that was the one I was going to recommend. And he says, and I'm still not seeing the results I was hoping for. I'm tired of paying for this. I've paid thousands. Wow, Bran. Honestly, that really sucks because you have really invested in coaching. These guys, I've heard of some of them. Like, I've heard the Ultimate Man Project is like really good. Like, someone was telling me he got like really good results from them. So the fact that, and I know how expensive it is. Okay, it's like insanely expensive. All of these coaches are ridiculously expensive. My coaching, $60. Okay, it's nothing compared to these freaking people. Okay, so the fact that you're paying thousands and you're really trying and you're still not getting results, I imagine it's insanely frustrating. I know the feeling in a sense because you guys know I've had social anxiety in the past and I've hired like tons of different coaches, and I feel like I have gotten little things from each one of the coaches and I have improved with each one of the coaches, but it can really suck when it just doesn't, hit knock it out of the park and you're still not getting dates, you're still not seeing results. All I can say is don't give up, Bran, but no doubt you must be feeling probably a bit hopeless and frustrated and maybe even angry. I don't know. Ying Ying said, how do we connect with you? I will put right here how you can get a consultation if you want. And yeah, I'll pin it. I think somebody gave me this great info about that. Wait a second. How do I? So anyway, yeah, I'm sorry, Bran. And I'm curious, Bran, what do you think is like you've got so much coaching from all these people, right? I'm curious, what did they tell you, and what do you think like the main thing holding you back could be? Like, do you have any sense of where your weakness lies? So, Tig Smith says, "Is it David Data, author of Way of the Superman?" No, freaking no, it's not Tig. It was this Ultimate Man project that Bran talked about. CW says, "I haven't been on a date since 2019. Where's my consolation?" It's absolutely terrible for you too, CW. That's really bad. Oh yeah, this is unhealthy. You're reaching like toxicity levels right now. You need to get on one immediately. EV says it's a cane. I got injured 7 years back on my knee. I don't have a cartilage, so I use a black cane to walk. Wow, EV. Oh, that sounds okay. That sounds very bad. You got injured on your knee and you don't have cartilage. Oh no, Evie. Well, how do you like using a cane to walk, and how do you find that? Does it like affect your walking a lot, not having cartilage? I guess that'd be pretty painful. So Steve Murray says, "Well, I'm after the 62-year-old gaze as I'm 70." A different female mind, but maybe only 30% different than a 30-year-old. There's a lot in common, and I know because I'm in some feminine groups for older women, and they've got a lot in common, but I agree, probably slightly different, slightly older and wiser, but a lot stays the same, I can tell you that. Brad says, "I'm sad and I'm lonely with 15K in debt from all the dating coaches. I just don't know what to believe no more." Oh my gosh, Brad. I'm so sorry to hear that. Lunari says, "Thank you for making lovely, informative content. Helps a lot." Thank you, Lunari. Selena is a woman. Candy Dopp says, "Given some EV some sympathy, that's good." Or empathy, rather. JB, well, hello, JB. He says, "My friend went on a Tinder date and the girl showed up for coffee in her patrol car. She was an on duty cop meeting for coffee on the job." That's pretty funny. That's actually quite funny. Was the date at Dunkin' Donuts, as they say? Hilarious. So, Brian Wirch says, "Female gaze." I think I made a few of those. Good one, Brian. JB says, "Any thoughts on Corey Wayne? He seems gimmicky, but also accurate." Well, JB, I have talked about it in the past. The 3% Man. I have read it, and I have hated it, and I have wanted to throw the book about 50 times across the room while reading it. In my opinion, the guy, I don't want to insult this guy, okay? Because I've been on an insulting rampage today. But no, I'm not a fan. But might he have some good information? Sure. And if he's given out for free, all the better, okay? But I did not agree with many of the things he said. I'll say that, okay? But that doesn't mean I didn't agree with all, just many. Hey, it's JG. We got JG. Thank you so much, JG. He super chatted me and he says, "Was the site you recommended and coaching countless women?" Oh, was on the site you recommended and count and coaching countless women, but prefer your commentary. Wondering if you can do a male impression for laughs. Oh, JG, you crack me up. So, I think I know what site you're talking about. Okay, am I allowed to say it, or should I just keep the letter F there? Um, okay. Well, what male impression do you want me to do? I'll try to do one. I'll try to see if one comes up, okay? And JG, I've been thinking about you. How's the writing? Can't wait to read that. But I know you got a lot going on. A lot going on. So, And thanks again for your super chat. So let's see where else we are. Oh gosh. So where were we? Oh, uh, so let's see. Oh wait. Selena says, I like to get info from both sides. It can help me help my husband too, lol. I've chatted with you live, but it's been several months. I've been watching you when I can catch you on for years now. Selena, this is incredible. Um, I feel the exact same way. It is only when you have info from both sides, when you understand the male gaze and you understand the female gaze, can you really form a true picture of what's really going on. And luckily, I have you guys, many of you guys, as my male gaze coaches. I have JG as a male gaze coach, and I also have my other male gaze coach, Jermaine, who has helped me. So, and both of them, and all of you guys, my commenters, my emails I get, have helped me understand the male gaze so much better. I'm not completely there, but trust me, it has made a huge difference in my relationship personally because it's like sometimes you need someone to really explain it, not just explain it in one sentence, but explain it in like 100 paragraphs, and then you kind of really like, oh, I think I'm getting it now. Explain it with metaphors, explain it with analogies, explain it deeply. And you can ask questions. You're like, but I don't understand this. I don't understand this. Then finally, it kind of falls into place. Oh, and you can have so much more empathy in your relationship, really understand what they are really saying, and everything just gets so much better. So I totally agree. For me, the male gaze has been absolutely invaluable. And I'm sure for you guys, who are mostly men, not you, Selena, but the female gaze and understanding that probably has some of the same effect because it's just not explained well to us. There's just so much that's unspoken and unconscious that people assume we know and we don't. Okay. And it trips us up big time. So I completely feel that. And yes, Lena, if you ever want to send me an email explaining more about who you are, I'd love to know more about you. So, Brand says, I've been trying for 5 years now, very hard, and still nothing, just debt and even more insecurities about my looks and women. I feel even less wanted now. Oh my gosh, Brand, wow. Sounds like these coaches have almost hurt you more than they've helped you because they've just made you more insecure about your looks and about women. Oh my god. Damn, I can only imagine what you've been through, Brand, with all the coaching you've got. I'm actually pretty curious. You should make a video about that. Camus says, I'm really tired of this. Got third wheeled and they ended up happy. It sucks. Oh no, Camus. Third wheeled? What how did that even happen? Like what went on there? I've been the third wheel. It's not fun. It's annoying. Or worse. JB Wells says, Brian, hit the gym for 8 weeks and take a pause on women. That will help you. Interesting. Joshua says, good evening. JB, this guy has probably gotten more coaching than like you can even imagine. I'm sure he's been like hitting the gym, but we'll see what he says. Steve Murray says, I'm after a religious lady who even goes to church on lunch hour. Not sure what impact that has. She seems to pay attention to how I react to things. Well, Steve, are you religious? Because that sounds pretty religious. Are you kind of like up for that? Let me know. So, Warrior Art says, Hi, Victoria. I've enjoyed watching your videos. It was great insight into the feminine, what women truly desire. Thank you, Warrior Arts. I am glad you think that because that was my intention. So, that is wonderful. Which video did you like? CW says, wait. Okay. Brown says, they want me to pay for boot camp on top of the 5K or 7K I already dropped. I just can't afford it anymore. I feel like once you get to a certain level, they just stop helping to push you for a one-on-one coach. Okay, yeah. I mean, I feel like the one-on-one coach, I'm not telling you to do it because you're already like super in debt over this, but the one-on-one coach probably could be helpful. It's like maybe there's only so much they can do in like the group stuff, But yeah, no doubt, it's like you didn't really get anything out of the group stuff. It's just more insecurities, and now they want you to do the one-on-one coach. God, it's like, ugh. Evie says, Vic, would you believe it? Women actually dig the cane. I can't explain why, but it's like they have a sense of admiration for it. That is interesting, Evie. That's very interesting. I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't really feel that like they wouldn't, but it is interesting that it's like they have that you kind of have sensed this. So Nils DeVille says, what do you do if you think a woman is trying to make you jealous? She acts flirty and happy with a guy you know she doesn't like, but it seems like she's just trying to make you jealous. Nils, I would go into your possessive boyfriend role play just a little bit. Okay, I would jokingly kind of like act possessive and jealous with her. Like, what do you think you're doing with that guy? I'm gonna kill him. You know what I mean? Like, kill that guy. Like, what do you like? My boyfriend does this all the time with me. I wish he was here to demonstrate, but he'll be like, "You little bitch. What do you think?" Like, he just acts like basically fake jealous. Okay, that's what they do in the romance novels, guys. But you got to do it with kind of tongue in cheek. But it's like she knows, part of you is jealous, and she's trying to make you jealous, so she's happy, and a part of you is kind of just joking around. Like, it's not grinding your gears so much, but it makes the girl feel like, okay, he cares. He cares. He's not toxic, he's not crazy, but he does care. So you gotta experiment with that. Experiment with your bad boy side, okay? Experiment with being just a little bit toxic, a little bit jealous, and a little bit possessive. So Joshua says, you guys need to chill. We do, Joshua? Oh no. So long-term gain says, I have been putting off looks maxing 70 pounds overweight as I build my successful career. How do I highlight my good traits on Tinder as I start my exercise journey? I think you could tell them like, you're on an exercise journey and stuff. Like, I feel like people kind of appreciate that. Like, oh, okay, cool. He's like working on it. Um, but yeah, do you have a post your Tinder bio in the chat and we could all workshop it together, long-term gains? KS Joshua says, "Be confident and let it fly." KS says, "Do you think dating is a minefield?" Well, what do you mean by dating is a minefield? Like, explain that. I don't even know what it means, so I can't really comment on it. So, where were we? Ying and Ying says, "I heard the book How to Make Anyone Fall in Love with You by Lil Lowndes. My hypnotherapist recommended." Interesting. I have not heard of that or read it. Have any of you guys? All right. Uh. Tig says, Victoria, according to Corey Wine, you have to read 3% minimum like 5 times before you internalize its full depth. You've done that right, lol. What a joke! What a freaking joke! That's hilarious, Tig. That's crazy. Like, the book is not complicated at all. So, that's funny that he says that. JB super chatted me. Thank you so much, JB. That's very generous of you. And he said, my advice to the young bucks: 8 weeks in the gym, no porn, no fap, buy a new wardrobe, and remember, he who cares the least gets the most. Okay, JB, thank you for this free advice. And let's just go through it one more time. 8 weeks in the gym, working on that looks maxing, no doubt that can help. I agree with you. No porn. You know what, JB? I'll trust you on this one because, while I have nothing against porn, a lot of people like you and other people I've done consultation with said it can really be a hindrance because it can motivate you when you're doing no porn and no fap. So I'll trust you on this. Good advice. Buy a new wardrobe. Fantastic advice. Looks maxing. Looks maxing, always very good. Getting a whole new wardrobe, up leveling your style. No doubt that makes a difference. And remember, he who cares the least gets the most. I can see why that would be helpful in many situations, because like the more you care, the more you can kind of make mistakes. The less you care, the more you can kind of come off as like a cool player, which girls kind of respond to. So yeah, great advice, JB. Thank you so much for your wonderful super chat. Brian says, I have a very busy schedule, but never used it. As an excuse, I went out for 3 years straight, non-stop night game and day game. I embarrassed myself so much. So no action taken is not the issue for now. Okay, Brian. I commend you for that. But and yes, it helps, but not what they claimed could be the results. Tell us more, Bran. Mind you, I come from a poverty home and I was homeless, so money is not an easy thing to talk about. Oh wow, Bran. So it seems like you have improved, but you didn't get the results that they promised. So what was the results they promised? Um, Joshua says, okay, be funny and confident. Okay. You guys are giving Bran some interesting tips here. Mr. Justin says, I do one-on-one coaching. Group stuff isn't effective. Each guy has a unique set of problems and needs a personal touch. Yeah, I can understand that, Mr. Justin. Yes. I mean, it's so true. Like everyone has like a different issue. So yeah. JG says Vortex can vouch for me. This guy does well with women. Okay, that's true. JG does well with women, and I cannot, and I know that for a fact. So yes, JG, he knows what he's talking about. But can anyone imitate what you do, JG? I don't know. Rocky Morciano says, I don't understand the female gaze. What is that? Height, status? Surely it isn't personality. Rocky, the female gaze, okay, it's just a term for kind of like how women see and understand the world, okay? It's like how they think about things, what's important to them, their expectations versus how men see the world. You know what I mean? Male culture, male pressures, male stress, male desires, male insecurities. I kind of use the female gaze as kind of just like the lens through which women see the world, and the male gaze, the lens through which men see the world. Okay. So it's basically another way of saying understanding women, understanding females, and understanding men. You know what I'm saying? So, JG, thank you so much for super chat. He says, I offered to help Brian DeIta for free. I wanted to see if you can tell him I know what I'm talking about because he is skeptical. Yes, Brian, I connect with JG for sure. He has some, I mean, I think it would be a very worthwhile conversation for sure to connect with JG. He's good with women and he's good at giving advice, he's good at helping people, absolutely, JG, and that's very nice to offer, um, absolutely. You guys should connect for sure, and that's very nice of you, JG, and thanks so much for your super chat. I always learn a lot from JG. JG coaches me a little bit. Maybe I need your coaching, JG. Social skills coaching. Um, all right. Oh, we got another super chat from JG. Thank you so much, JB. Thank you so much, JB. He says, Victoria, you should start a Discord channel for your dating advice. A free section and a paid section would be a great place to get some of these broke guys free advice and have a community. JB, like, I'm sure that's good advice. I'm not like I have been on Discord. So I feel like I need to like get on Discord more because I feel like Discord can be very overwhelming because it's just like this endless, chats and stuff. So, but maybe I just haven't really like experienced enough good Discord servers or whatever to really like appreciate it. But you know what? I'll try to look into Discord a little more. Maybe if you have any like examples of like a good Discord group where I could get like a sense of what it would be like, let me know, JB, because I'm sure, I know I know it's like insanely popular. And what do you like about it, JB? Let me know. And thanks so much for your super chat. Okay. So Nil says, wouldn't that make me seem insecure if you're being like toxic boyfriend? No, Nils, because you're joking about it. You're kind of like role playing like an aggressive, like toxic dom, basically, and women like this kind of thing. Okay. So, all right, guys. Getting a little lost in the chat tonight. Shall we do a quiz, guys, or do you guys have any other questions? I got some different things we can learn from tonight. Um, Hello, Russell Cameron Thomas. Okay. GG's giving some good advice to Brian. So Jolly Leprechaun says he's conflicted about approaching women. One, women tend to live in fear of men, especially strangers. This is true. Two, women prefer that men approach them. Is taking the risk of being creepy just a part of the game? Yes, Jolly Leprechaun, it is. Okay. Women are kind of scared of men, but they're kind of like they're kind of like skittish. Do you know what I'm saying? But if you approach them in a way that makes them feel comfortable and, they still might talk to you, but you have to take into account that there is going to be a background fear of men, okay? And some women are kind of more on edge than others. So, some women will perceive what you're saying is creepy and others will be more open to it. So, yes, taking on the risk of being creepy is absolutely a part of the game. It's a non-negotiable. You have to be willing to be perceived as creepy, and hopefully your approach doesn't come off as creepy, okay? But you cannot make it so that 100% of women will decide that you are a nice guy TM. No part of you was creepy. No part of what you said was creepy or weird. It's You're just gonna have to accept that some women might find it creepy, and all you can do is just be as, you know, relaxed, casual in talking to strangers as you can be. Not make it about sex right away, okay? And do it in a safe and considerate way. And this is the way that the least amount of women will find you creepy, but you cannot stop some women from finding it creepy because some women are, living in extreme fear of men. So they're just going to be like a ticking time bomb, okay? And you cannot judge that from the like when you meet one, you don't know how much fear she has of men. So yes, you have to accept it. It's a part of the game. 100%. You are correct. So all right. Okay, guys. Warrior Art says the video was why women crave dominance. It helped me be more comfortable with my approach with women, be more adventurous with them. That's great, Warrior Arts. Jolly Leprechaun says, awesome. Thanks for the advice. Been conflicted with those two opposing facts for some time. Thanks for the perspective. 100% Jolly Leprechaun. You got to accept that it's okay to be creepy sometimes. Okay. It's okay to try not to be creepy, but someone still thinks you're creepy. You know what I mean? It's okay to like go out on a limb and try something and someone says you're creepy. It's not the end of the world. It doesn't mean you're a sexually perverse human being who will never have someone find you desirable. It doesn't mean you're like hideous and unattractive. It just means, people have different levels of sensitivity to different fears and you could trigger them, basically. Okay. Or you could just be bringing up sex too soon. You could be making people feel uncomfortable and you could try to minimize that, but you can't minimize it 100%, really, ever. So, yeah. Um, Rocky says, "What is the female gaze?" Well, didn't we just answer that, Rocky? And how do I employ it to my advantage? Well, the more you understand basically all aspects of how women are thinking, the less you will put your foot in your mouth and repel women through being obnoxious, through being offensive, through doing things they find like gross, disgusting, creepy, annoying, stupid. So it's just like, it's not just like this list of like three things. I mean, it's basically an entire project of really understanding the patterns in how women think, which is what we do on these lives all the time through the quizzes. I teach you different like principles. Like, for example, one we've done a couple times is don't talk about like murder, kidnap, or, you know, drugging someone or doing anything violent, um, which is a mistake guys make all the time. Like to me in the comments, they'll be like, Victoria, I should really like punch you in the head. I'm like, that's just never gonna come off to women, right? Like, or they'll say like, I'm not a serial killer. And I'm like on an online dating app, I'm just like, again, like it's gonna be an instant block for most women, okay? Because like Jolly Leprechaun was saying, women have kind of this background fear of men. So saying things that imply that even as a joke, it's like saying bomb in the TSA security line. It's just not something you do. It's going to set them off. It's going to trigger them. So that's like one example of the way women see the world. And since men don't have that same baseline level of fear of women, they're putting their foot in their mouth all the time. They're thinking, what did I do? I didn't say anything wrong. All I did was say, I'm not a serial killer. But it's like, all you did at TSA was says, I don't have a bomb. It's just, you're an idiot. You're gonna get security's gonna come over. You know what I'm saying? So that's one example of understanding the female gaze and how that can help you with women. Okay. Because women are going to see you as someone who's understanding, who's empathetic, who gets women, who just gets it. Okay. Instead of a boy who is obnoxious and turns off women. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully you understand that. And that's just one tiny example. There's like 1,000 more. Okay. Today I received an email from someone and he just had no idea how sexist he was coming off and just how offensive what he was saying would come off to women. He had no idea. He thought he was just being a great, nice guy. And, whenever he says, like, one thing that he said was, it is a rare woman who can both think and feel. Well, a lot of you guys think that, okay? You guys have the emotional beings fallacy where you think women are emotional and men are logical, okay? However, if you just basically say that to a woman, you know, as a woman, you are an emotional being who does not have logic. Most women are going to be like, fuck you, get away from me. You are trash. Basically, men are trash. Why are men? Why do men? What is wrong with men? Are men okay? Okay. So that's another example of understanding the female gaze. Even if, for whatever, in my opinion, stupid reason, you think women don't have logic, you don't fucking say that to women because you're going to turn them off. It's offensive and it's sexist. So that's something you can decide for yourself. I'm not going to share this view. Okay? Because to the female gaze, to women, it's going to horrify and offend them. You know what I'm saying? And it will ruin my chances with any woman who hears me say it. So that's just another example, okay? And there's infinite examples like that, really. But the more you learn about women, the less mistakes you will make, and the more women will say, "Oh, he's the perfect guy. He's a man written by a woman. Everything about him is perfect." And when you add looks maxing to that, social skills, confidence, you're in the perfect position to attract women and to sustain attraction with women. You know what I'm saying? Hello, Drip Top. All right, guys. So, should we do any quizzes today to help you learn more about the female gaze? Um, I got a really easy one for you to warm up with. Case One says, "Are you just answering questions from the audience?" Yes, Case One, I am. If you guys have any questions, just ask me, and we will see what comes out of that. Metal Hammer says, "It is important to remember that women's perception of you is largely affected by their experiences with other men. They might feel uneasy around you because of something another douche did." Absolutely. I mean, the more horrible experiences she's had with men, the more she's going to be on edge, you know? So, Nani, thank you so much, Nani, for your super chat. I really appreciate it. And he says, "Show the TikTok of the girl yelling at the guy through the car window." Yes, I was thinking maybe I should do TikToks tonight because I've got a lot of good TikToks that I've saved for you guys, and that was a great one, Nani. Yeah, I had seen that one, Nani, and then you sent it to me. I'm curious of your take. Like, what did you think of that? I mean, it's very interesting, and I feel definitely something kind of key to understanding women that guys probably don't understand. Because it's like, from guys, I hear, like, "Why are women so mean," basically, to guys, okay? And to have TikTok as a perfect example. And it's like, kinda hard to explain, but it's like, well, maybe we should do the TikTok, but just my brief take on it is just like, when from 10 years old, you've had guys kinda, like, harassing you, it kind of bubbles up to a point where it's almost like you're so sick of men, you don't understand, like, why men do these things, and you just become, like, kind of what's the word? Like, it's kind of like your way of getting back at men is to just kind of, like, stand up for yourself and be mean right back, but they take it to a over the top level. But, yeah, so it's really harsh because they can just be, like, insanely, like, cruel, okay? Like, that guy in that TikTok, he was doing, like, nothing. He was, like, being, like, the nicest guy, right? And she's, like, screaming at him, and she's like, "This is what I do for fun," or whatever. So, yeah, I feel like that's something that's probably quite hard for guys to understand about women and probably comes off as quite, like, women are trash, you know what I mean? But if you really understand the deeper frustration that's been building up for, like, decades that leads up to something like that, perhaps you can have, like, more empathy. Not you, Nani, but guys. So, yeah, maybe I'll do TikTok tonight. Okay. Thank you, Nani. And JB says, "Oh, he super chatted me again. Thank you so much, JB." And he says, "Totally unrelated, but a great discussion for one of your lives. You should do a thought exercise about how much the economy is built on attracting and dating the opposite sex." Jones? Dude, you can come in. Interesting, JB. What do you think about that? Give me your thoughts on that. It's very interesting. So, what would the thought exercise be? Just let's all contemplate um, how much the economy is built on attracting and dating the opposite sex. Yeah, no, I think that actually makes a lot of sense. Like the beauty industry, for sure. What else? The fitness industry, for sure. The sex work industry, perhaps. What else, JB? Let me know. And thank you so much for a super chat. Sagunto super chatted me. Thank you so much, Sagunto. He says, chivalry is dead. Women killed IR? What does that mean? Chivalry is dead and women killed? I'm kind of scared by that last sentence, Sagunto, but I'm hoping I just misread this. Killed it. Okay. Women killed it. Well, okay, thanks for sharing your opinion. I'm not sure, I kind of feel like, you know, in some ways it's good chivalry is dead. Okay. And as a guy, I don't think you want to like rely on chivalry so much. Tips Fedora. But in other ways, women still like benevolent sexism quite a bit. So interesting points to do. You can say more if you would like, and I will read that. Nani says he likes the video and found it hot. Really, Nani? Wow, you are next level. Why did you find it hot? You got to tell me that. That is fascinating. You are no longer. You have up level to Brett Tamer extraordinaire if you found that hot, and I'm impressed. Very impressed. Rocky Marciano says, why are men required to understand women, but they are not required to reciprocate? Rocky, you're not required to do anything. Okay? You can do what most men are doing and sending dick pics and trying to turn the conversation immediately to sex on apps and talking about how, they hate single moms and yeah, you think you're like a 10, no, you're a 4 or whatever, and you know, you're going to be alone with cats. You can do all that. You can just spew the male gaze at women, learning nothing about why women don't like it. Okay. And you can see how you like your results. Okay. But if you decide you don't like your results and you want to learn about understanding women, you can come back here to my lives and learn about understanding women. Okay. If women do not like the results they're getting with men, and they feel, why do my relationships always fail? Or why am I not attracting the kind of guys I want? Then they will have to learn about understanding men and what they want. However, nobody's forcing anyone to do it. And if you like the results you're getting, you don't have to do it. Okay. So for most women, they're getting boyfriends without understanding men too deeply. Okay. Some women who want to get like an extremely high value man or whatever might have to start studying more deeply about game and understanding men. But for a lot of women, they can breeze by. Okay. Some men can breeze by. Can you? Well, it's up to you. Okay. All right. So, shall we watch some TikToks? Oh, look what came up. First thing on my TikTok Shira7. Oh, lordy, guys. That's where a lot of women go to learn about the male gaze, that's for sure. Okay. So, okay. Oh, we got something, a super chat from Russell Cameron Thomas. Thank you so much. He says, discussion question. What is the female gaze view on sense of humor from males and females versus male gaze view? That is a good discussion question, Russell Cameron Thomas. So what is the female gaze view on sense of humor versus the male gaze view? Well, that's something I'm not really so up on, the male gaze view. So maybe you guys will have to educate me on that. I mean, I've heard kind of the old trope, women aren't funny or whatever. And of course, women are really annoyed by that. And I don't agree. I hope you guys don't agree, but I don't know. What do you think about it? What is the male gaze view on sense of humor? I mean, most women would definitely say that they like sense of humor, that it's definitely an attractive trait that they want. Some more than others, of course. Some girls want it more than others in a partner. So it's an interesting question. What's your take, Russell Cameron Thomas? David Gonzalez says, I know many funny women. I mean, so do I, David. Like, come on. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, the amount of, like, you know, female comedians who are absolutely hilarious is like crazy. But I don't know why that old trope has like stuck around. Maybe it comes from something deep within like the male psyche that women are just like, what the hell? So, so Russell Karen Solomon says male humor often competitive, like who can top whom, also lean towards insult, sarcasm, snark. Yeah, that seems true for sure, Russell Cameron Thomas. Yes, absolutely. Like it's just nonstop, like insulting and mocking, and yeah, that's definitely not part of like female culture. That's definitely a very like male culture thing. I was actually kind of asking my boyfriend about that the other night because he was making me watch. Well, I agreed to watch some kind of a documentary on like uh Bears, Chicago Bears, like training camp, and they were kind of demonstrating that. I'm just like, why are they acting like that? Like, why is everyone just like insulting everyone else so much? And then we were watching this movie, Grown Ups. The whole first 30 minutes, it was just like every guy like mocking and insulting like every other guy. I'm just like, what is up with that? And he was kind of explaining it to me a little, like about the male hierarchy and how you got to like punch down and keep everyone in line. So it's interesting. Definitely not female culture thing. Definitely not. Cabby N64 says, I felt on apps you have to become an amateur comedian. Yeah, that could help for sure. So true. Metal Hammer, good point. That is a good female gaze point, guys. All right, guys, shall we do one quiz real quick before I get too tired? Uh, okay. This one should be incredibly easy, guys, but if it's not, then you guys need to learn real fast. Okay? All right. Here's the quiz, guys. All right, get ready for it. It's kind of vulgar. All right, so hopefully YouTube doesn't censor me. All right. So the girl says, one time I let a guy read that word on the screen so YouTube doesn't censor me. Yitty F me. And he asked if I came when he did. So now I'm thinking about that. All right, guys. My question to you is why is she thinking about that? Okay. Now, this should be obvious, but if it's not, then I need to educate y'all real quick. So I'll do it one more time. One time I let a guy titty fuck me, and he asked if I came when he did. So now I'm thinking about that. Question is, why is she thinking about that? Okay. Let's see if you guys know. Let's see if you guys can graduate from kindergarten female gay school. All right. Does it make sense? What would you be thinking about that? What's what stands out about that? Okay. Let's see if you guys know what the issue there is. All right. Do you want to see it one more time on the screen? One time I let a guy do that to me. Okay. And he asked if I came when he did. So now I'm thinking about that. What is she thinking about, guys? Get your answers in 30 more seconds. What is she thinking about and why? And if, as Evan Wells says, Evan Wells 1 says it makes no sense, why does it make no sense? Okay? Because if you don't know this, you don't know nothing about sex. Well, perhaps I just discouraged you from getting your answers in, but let's just say, let's put in more positive light. This is something y'all need to know. So, JB says, because it was hot to her. Okay, JB, yep. Unfortunately, JB, you get an F. Evan Wells 1 says she's thinking about it because it makes no sense. Okay, Evan Wells, why? JB says women reminisce a lot. No, JB. Russell Cameron Thomas says she is thinking, how clueless is this guy about female sexuality? Did he learn all this from porn? Okay, and why would she be thinking that, Russell Cameron Thomas? I'm not going to fail you yet. Okay, Cover says she's taking seriously the possibility that he was / men are that clueless. Very good, okay, Covers, but why? Okay, what is the thing that doesn't make sense? Aiden says, because it's bizarre that he has such a bad grasp as female now. Very good, Aiden. Andy Chat says she's in the vortex. Unfortunately, Andy, you're wrong, okay? But this is why we need to do this quiz, okay? Because I'm going to up-level you guys so much tonight if this is what you're thinking. Bran says she's DTF. No, Bran. Unfortunately, the dating coaches didn't teach you this one, okay? The experimenter says the consideration of the guy for the guy to ask her if she had her pleasure. You also get an F, the experimenter. I'm sorry to say. No. Stoic says she is dumbfounded. But why, Stoic? David Gonzalez says she is wondering how he could be so clueless about what brings women to orgasm. Ah, the wisdom of elders, David. Yes, exactly. Exactly, David. JB says she was thinking, I can fix him. Haha, JB, I hope you're joking, but I don't think you are. Nils says she's for the streets. Come on now, Nils. Is that always the answer? Is that always the answer when you guys are just clueless? Oh, she's for the streets. Come on, Nils. Do better. Brian says she thinks men are dumb. Yes, but why? Only one guy has got it right so far, but a few people are probably right. Perhaps more than one. Gabby says she's thinking he's not that good, but why? Tig says she doubts his grasp of female anatomy. It's not possible for a woman to come without either vaginal or clitoral stimulation. While we'll give the very rare exception from like nipple stimulation or something, or some insane rare person who could just come from like the mind alone. Yes, Tig, you get an A plus. You explained the reason perfectly. Exactly. Wagner says she would have to be very into him or into that for that to happen, to entertain the idea for that ever happening. No, Wagner, that's unfortunately this is why I had to do this question, which seems so obvious because, guys are thinking things like this. Joshua said she would know if she did. No, Joshua. Okay. Oh, we got a super chat from Sagunto. As soon as this quiz is over, Sagunto, I apologize. We'll get right to that, okay? Jolly Leprechaun says she was thinking, was I supposed to come from being blank effed? Does he think that should? Yes, Jolly Leprechaun, you got an A. Nils says it was hot. No, Nils. Metal Hammer says she's shocked that he thinks that her body works like that. Yes, Metal. Okay, yep. All right, guys. So Kamal says, "Are we all stupid?" Well, many of you guys are very uneducated and ignorant when it comes to sexual things and women. Okay. So, all right, guys. Yes, many of you don't understand this, but Tig said it great. David said it great. Guys, the reason why she's thinking about that is she's kind of left stunned and dumbfounded that a guy thinks that a sexual act like the titty fuck could make a girl come because as Tig said, clitoral stimulation is what makes the girl come. And for, I think it's like 15% of women, they can get clitoral stimulation through vaginal penetration, okay? But it's all about the clit. So if you're not actually stimulating the clit, okay, you're not going to make her come. But this is something I see in consultations all the time where the guy will say, "Oh, I think she came." I'm like, "Why do you think she came?" They don't know what makes the girl come, okay? The clit. Learn about it. Read Becoming Cliterate by Dr. Lori Mintz if you don't know about it, okay? Because you just look, I'm sorry to say, stupid when you think something like, "Oh, like I kissed you. Did you come? I touched your breast. Did you come?" It's like the girl's thinking, "Are you stupid?" No. No, I didn't. Okay? And the fact that you're so easy to fool is the reason they can get away with faking orgasms this easy and stuff, okay? Because they're just like, this guy is freaking clueless. Okay? So I'm educating you guys. Don't be clueless. Learn about the clit, and you will be all good, and you will know how to make a girl come every time or have the best chance of making her come. Okay? You not be like most guys who just bang, 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 bang. Did you come? Why would she, guys? Why would she? Okay? You didn't stimulate the clit. All right, so it's very important for y'all to know. Now let's go to Sagunto. Thank you so much, Sagunto, for super chat. He says, about my experiences with young women last decade, one thing I realized is most girls don't value the struggles young men deal with. Thus, she seeks comfort among the chaotic group she's part of. Well, I'm not sure what you meant by that last sentence, Secundo, about seeks comfort among the chaotic group she's a part of. But I certainly agree with the first part of what you said, which is most girls don't value the struggles young men deal with. 100% absolutely, I could not agree more. They don't understand the struggles young men deal with. They don't even know the struggles young men deal with exist. So, yes, they are totally blind to that. They have an enormous blind spot, and it causes them to act very offensive, very cruel, very unempathetic, and very harsh in probably so many other ways. So, yes, I agree with that. Thank you for your super chat. I really appreciate it. So, okay, Wagner, I'll give you a pass there. Henny says, I bet some women could climax thinking about that. They could climax thinking about that if they are touching themselves and manually stimulating their clit, which is how women masturbate. Okay. But if they're just thinking about it and they're not touching themselves, I'll give you maybe like 1 in like 10,000 maybe could climax from that. Everyone else is not climaxing from that. Okay. Unless they're touching themselves or using a vibrator. Okay. So, yeah, this is something you guys need to understand. So, Young Cash App says, damn, are you really having to explain this? I appreciate your work, but all this should be self-evident. Well, I don't know about self-evident. I mean, people don't grow up just knowing about like genitalia and whatnot. But as I said, it's kindergarten level, but that's why I had a feeling that some guys would not know about this, which is why I just wanted to get this one out of the way and, hit the point home again. We hit it home last live, but maybe some people missed it. Joshua Burns says, we can have a wet dream without direct stimulus. Yeah, that's a good point. Okay, women have those less often than men, supposedly, but can you just orgasm without touching yourself, Joshua, as a guy? Can you just sit there and be like, I want to come, I want to come, and then you just come? Or do you have to touch yourself? Let me ask you that. So, Andy says, definitely not self evident in this sample size. Hmm. Okay. Yeah, guys. So I think that was a good one for you guys because a lot of you guys did not know. Okay. And trust me, as much as some of you guys want to be like, oh, this is so obvious, trust me, I had a lot of one night stands, I had a lot of hookups, and most guys don't know it. Okay. Almost no guys know it. Okay. So I know that most guys don't know it. So yeah, but all my viewers will know it. Okay. And they will be far, far above the knowledge level of most guys. So, all right, guys, shall we go on to the next quiz question? Alrighty. Okay, guys. I'm trying to decide what I should do next. All right. I cannot decide, but don't worry, guys. Oh, we got another super chat, so let's take this first. Segundo. Thank you so much, Segundo. He says, what I meant is that girls expect certain things only the group she's a part of can provide, whereas an individual couldn't provide the same as easily. So, Segundo, I'm trying to understand what you mean here. Do you mean that girls expect basically men to act like women in a way? Whereas an individual couldn't provide the same as easily? Could you explain that a little bit more, Segundo? Because, I mean, if that is what you're saying, then I agree that women expect men to understand the female gaze, to basically be like kind of women internally and men externally. So, yeah. Okay, he's tipping in. He says, it is a logical choice from the woman's perspective, but it is really tough for young men because we are too stupid to understand a woman's mindset without dialogue. Yeah, so hopefully I understand what you're saying, but I agree. Women think that they understand men, but they basically project the way they think and the way they see the world into like men's heads. And then they're like shocked and horrified because they have no idea about male culture. They have no idea what men want and why they want the things they want. And men are kind of doing the same thing often, projecting that women internally, like, kind of are going to want a lot of the same things men want, but they don't. Okay. And are you too stupid to understand a woman's mindset? I mean, from both sides, people are kind of blind. I like to say that, like, they got so many blind spots. And yes, we need to learn about it. We need to understand. It's like, it's like understanding, like for me, like who's white, like understanding like things about black culture or something. Like I have to learn about it. For me, understanding things about like male culture, I have to learn about it. I don't know anything about it. You know what I'm saying? So understanding things about Asian culture, like basically any ethnicity, there's a lot to learn about like things that they grew up knowing and understanding and experiencing. And it's the same thing with, men and women. Women are kind of like very sexist without knowing it. They don't understand male culture. Men don't understand female culture, and it creates a lot of issues, microaggressions, and all that for sure. So then Segundo says, men usually expect verbal communication, whereas girls imagine these aspects are self evident. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. women are just kind of projecting and thinking, oh, it should be obvious. It should be absolutely clear. And it's not. Okay. And there's a lot of things like that where men, they kind of assume things should be obvious to women and they're not. So it goes both ways. But I agree with you, Segundo. I absolutely do. So hopefully I got what you're saying. So okay. Joshua says women want to tame a wild beast. No, they don't. They don't. That's Jordan Peters. As I have to say ad nauseum on that video I made about this, just because Jordan Peterson says it doesn't make it true. Trust me, he doesn't understand women at all. And they don't want to tame a wild beast. That's kind of the opposite of what they want. They want a wild beast who's untamed in a way. Niels says, so what do women want? Genuinely, no BS. I have a whole video on that. What do women want? You can watch that. Okay, Cover says, I find your sincerity and transparency invaluable. Thank you, okay, Covers. So, alrighty, guys. Okay. Alright, guys. Okay. Alright, guys, here's it. I don't know if that was a good one for you. Okay. Alright. Just talk amongst yourselves for a little bit, because I want to see, should I do my TikToks or should I do okay. Alright, guys, here's one. Alright, here's a TikTok I'm going to show you. And I'm going to ask you guys for a quiz. What kink is this? Okay? Alright, you guys ready? Hugging my fiance and then telling him I need space.
Do you want a cuddle? No, I want space. You want space? Yeah. You just cuddle with me. I want space. Come on. Come on. You want space? Yeah. What's wrong? Why do you want space? What did I do? I just want space. Do you want space with Bella? Yeah. You can lie down here and I'll just go away. You want space with Bella? Yeah. Let me just tell Bella what's going on. Bella, Mum needs some space. So what you're going to do is you're going to lay here and you're going to have a hug with your mama and you're going to love her until she's ready to tell me what's wrong. And cuddle me. Is it just you want space from me? Did I do something wrong? No. You're just tired. You want to cuddle Bella for a bit? Do you want a book? Or a coffee? No books, no coffee? No food either? Just some peace and quiet? Alright, I'll be in the kitchen. I'll put something in the slow cooker for dinner. You need to tell me when you're ready, okay? Love you, Mom. Love you guys.
All right, guys. Hopefully you saw that. All right. Guys, was that something women are going to like? Are they going to not like it? Are they going to find it attractive? Are they going to find it sexy? Or is it demeaning and disrespectful to treat a woman like a child? To be overly, nurturing and kind of like talking down to her like she's a little baby. Okay? And for extra credit, what kink does it relate to? Okay, guys, get your answers in. I'm only going to give you 20 more seconds. All right, but I think this is a very important principle that you guys could learn from. Okay, so let's see. We got somebody saying. Rocky says height kink. Aidenel says DDLG. Very good, Aidenel. Very good. The experimenter says DDLG. Very good, the experimenter. Joshua says, that's why I stay single right there. That kind of BS. Well, yeah, that probably is why you're still single, Joshua, because like you don't understand that this is an important part of the female gaze. Tyke says DDLG. All right, we got some educated students who are ready for high school level. Okay, on this live. Very good. The end says she just wants care. Very good. The end. And what kink is that? Nil says, yeah, I ain't doing all that. The girl's too much. I'm not a mind reader. Yes, Nils, this is why you need your education. This is why you're in school. Sagunto also says DDLG. Hedney says, my roommate does that with his wife. And how does it go? Arturo says, out of pocket, lol. The experimenter says, depends on the woman, but usually, yeah, it is demeaning, but that's why it's a kink. It's DDLG. Indeed, the experimenter. Evan Wells once said, I guess that's DDLG, but I don't particularly like that iteration of it. I wouldn't dig it. Not for me. Okay, Gabber says, at first I figured she was just pranking him, doing something illogical, hug him and say I need space to see how he reacts. Since you asked what kink, I'm guessing she knew he'd react that way. I don't think so, okay, Covers, but it's possible. Rocky says, WCF is DDLG. Yes, it's good you're in school tonight, Rocky, because you need it. Joshua says, I'm dying. Russell Cameron Thompson says, all that talk and behavior after her saying I need space was misspent. He should have said, cool, I'll be off to the pub workshop / golf course. Let me know when you are done. You gotta be kidding me, Russell Cameron Thomas. Are you freaking kidding me right now? I really hope you're joking. I hope that was a joke. Nil says she's acting like a child. Yes, and this is what you guys need to learn. If a woman is acting like a child, what she wants from you. Okay? So this is why it's important, because it goes kind of counter to most male instincts. Okay? I think most male instincts would be something more like what Russell Cameron Thomas says, cool, let me give you space. Because that's kind of what you would do probably for a guy who's like, or bro, like you got this or whatever. Like, stay strong, bro, or something. But counterintuitively, that's not what women want. So this is what I'm teaching you guys. So yeah. Oh God, Joshua, men like logic. Oh my God, you're like insufferable right now, Joshua. I'm serious. Russell Cameron Thomas, I would never be with the one who wants DDLG. Well, Russell Cameron Thomas, you're not gonna have many skills in a relationship then. I will tell you that, and I will be blunt with you about that. Arturo Garcia says, hell yeah. Okay, guys. So let's talk about it. All right. So yes, she's pranking him by kind of doing something like totally irrational and just to kind of like see how he reacts, right? So she hugs him and then says she needs space to see how he reacts, right? But instead, this guy's kind of like an expert at handling women, okay? Because what does he do? He goes into his DDLG mode. He doesn't go, what the fuck was that? Women are so irrational. Women are so emotional. They are emotional beings. No, he goes right into nurturing her, babying her, okay? And you can see that she and the 153,000 other women, basically, who are liking this, I'm sure, are like, damn, he handled that so well. I basically melt into a puddle if a guy did that to me. Okay, so this is something that guys need to learn, a relationship skill that they need to learn because it's counterintuitive, like I was saying, because you would not treat your male friend this way. Okay, but when you're in a relationship with a girl, they like to be nurtured, to be babied. And if we want to take it to an erotic level, yes, the kink is DDLG, daddy dom, little girl. Okay, so you guys need to stop trying to be too cool for school and being like, ha, ha, oh, I'm so hard, I'm so tough, I'd never do it. You just look stupid because all you're saying is that when a situation like this happens in a relationship, you would have no idea what to do. The girl would get annoyed at you. The girl would get offended. The girl would be frustrated with you. The girl would think you don't understand women and they would think you're not good with women. Okay? So, yeah. Do you get it? Okay. Let's read what you guys think. Oh, Drip Drop, is that you for our Zoom meeting tomorrow? Is that you, Manuel? Let me know. Drip Drop, email me back, or maybe you already have because yeah, I suggested some different options we could do. Yeah, I'm very sorry that I didn't change that because that's my moving day. If that is you, um. So Haley says she just wants someone to care about her. Guys can call it DDLG, but it's also just caring. Haley, are you a woman? Because I totally agree with you. Like I was trying to say, you know, they like nurturing, they like caring. If you want to kind of take it into a more erotic place, it could be part of the DDLG spectrum. But yeah, this is just, you don't have to call it DDLG, especially when it's not in a sexual context. But it could kind of fall under the umbrella of that kink if we were talking about kinks. But I agree with you, Haley. So Jolly Leprechaun says, honestly, I probably would have said, Kay, I'll give you space. Exactly, Jolly Leprechaun. That is like the classic male response, and that is the worst possible thing you can do. Not in every single scenario, but in most cases, it is not good. That instinct is not good. So hopefully you guys have learned something about the female gaze, because you can kind of think and ponder and contemplate, perhaps my first instinct, which is what I thought would be right to do like with another guy, is not what would be right to do with a woman, especially when I'm in a relationship with. Okay, so perhaps just ponder that, let it sink in, because trust me, this can make a world of difference in your relationships. Okay, because instead of the woman feeling like, wow, he really could fucking care less, couldn't care less, right? She's thinking, wow, my boyfriend cares. My boyfriend loves me. My boyfriend is a great guy. My boyfriend is so supportive. My boyfriend is so empathetic. My boyfriend is so nurturing. My boyfriend makes me feel so safe, so good. Okay? Instead of, my boyfriend left me alone crying under the big light. This is like a TikTok trend from a while ago. There was like a song about it, and basically every girl was relating to the idea that they're crying, they're upset, and their boyfriend is like, oh, let me give you space. I'll go to bed. I'll play video games and, just turn off the light when you're done. So this is something you guys need to understand. Hopefully you do. Okay. Oh, look at this. It's Jen Marie. We got a woman in the chat. Wonderful, Jen Marie. Welcome. And I don't know if you heard this discussion, or saw that TikTok, or if you just joined, but we'd love your take, guys. And perhaps Haley is a woman as well. I'm not sure. But welcome, Jen Marie. Long time no see. Oh, Drip Drop, it is you. Okay, good, Drip Drop. Oh, I'm so glad that I finally, because I was wondering, like, Drip Drop. So, Drip Drop, just email me if you haven't already, and we'll work it all out. And yeah. So then Wagner says, Wagner? He says, Vic, do you have a video on what kink is that? Showing the clues women give in their meeting? I was thinking that'd be a great, I really should just do some more kink education, because that's one of the most important things I think you can know as a man, in my opinion, when it comes to women. And I can tell you guys a lot about that. So yeah, I think that'd be a great video for me to do. So Anorak says, "Hey Victoria, women attract towards a sentimentalist man or a stoic man?" Well, Anorak, the way I like to say it is, alpha in love. Like they want those alpha qualities. Okay, they want you to be like good looking and masculine and confident, and people, someone they can admire and respect. But they want that guy to have the skills that sustain a relationship, which is that, like, if they're upset, he doesn't continue acting like tough and macho and stoic, but he kind of knows how to be nurturing, how to be caring, and how to be loving. So you kind of need both. You need a blend, really, of the masculine and the feminine, if you want to put it in those terms. Okay, not just masculine. Okay, but a lot of times when men, they kind of they are nice people and they want to be nice, they want to be caring, they want to be loving, but it's harder for them to tap into kind of like the tough, strong, like macho side, and that's when the good looking, the looks maxed side, and that's what often they need more work on. You know what I'm saying? And those things that allow them to attract women for casual sex in the first place, but then the relationship skills are what will allow them to sustain a relationship with the woman they like. Do you know what I'm saying? So Segundo says, "Thank you so much for your super chat." He says, "What's the difference between that DDLG take, an annoying, overprotective boyfriend trying to please the girl while being clueless about her desire?" Okay, so I think I understand what you're saying, Segundo, but it's like these are all tools I want you to have in the toolbox, okay? I want you to be able to be nurturing and caring and DDLG in some situations. And in other situations, I want you to have the ability to be kind of like your, as I call it, your toxic boyfriend role play. Okay? Because that can make her feel another way. It's like the more shades you have, the more tools you have in the toolbox, the more kind of like excited and interested she will be in you, basically. Like, for example, in my relationship, my boyfriend can be very, very DDLG with me sometimes. He can be very nurturing and caring, and he can like definitely baby me a lot or treat me like a princess, and I love it. But then sometimes he can role play someone kind of like abusive, possessive, and jealous, and I love that too. Okay? So I want you guys to be able to do both. Get you a guy who can do both kind of thing. All right? Then you will have like you will be exciting to her. You will be thrilling. You're like, "Oh my gosh, this guy gives everything I want to me." Because women have multiple kinks, okay? Like if you guys look at Book Talk, all right, and the romance novels they're reading, um, the guys they're reading about in those books, they're hitting multiple kinks for the girls, okay? And those are two huge ones. Huge, huge, huge. Probably two of the biggest, if not the biggest. I would say they're the biggest. Okay? So, yeah, do both. Then we got Nani. Thank you so much, Nani. He says, "At the fighting gym I'm at, it's easy to pick out the guys that don't understand the female gaze. Some of them barf red pill." Oh, I can only imagine, Nani. Oh my gosh, you must be like so much more in the know than these guys, okay? Yes. And the guys that barf red pill, women don't respect them. Women can pick them out from a mile away and they're thinking these are the incels. These are the guys who know nothing about women. These are the guys who repel women the second they open their mouth. So it's just so bad, you know? Perhaps you can pick and choose concepts from the red pill that like help you, but you don't want to be talking about the red pill out loud, especially not to women, because I mean, for the things that are there is truth to, women don't want to hear it, okay, because it's offensive. And for the things that aren't true, they're just going to be like, that's ridiculous and like dismiss it. So, yes, I can only imagine because I see it all the time myself as well. And they think they're acting so macho and hardcore, but I'm like, how do I tell you? You are literally it's like that old fairy tale where it's like the guy opens his mouth and like, or the woman opens her mouth and like snakes and mice and rats come out of the mouth. That's kind of like the vision I'm getting because that's how it is to women. It's just like, you know, yeah. So, oh, and Nani, he super chatted me again. Thank you so much, Nani. And he says, I fought a woman that's an actual champion, and I told her afterwards how I see her so badass, and she was taken away from what I said, lol. Um, that's awesome, Nani. I love that, okay? Because, she probably gets a lot of guys who are threatened by her, who kind of feel like intimidated by her or insecure around her, or just don't know how to talk to her, don't necessarily want to give her compliments. So the fact that you could just like compliment her and tell her she's badass and be like, I'm not afraid of basically a strong woman. I think it's awesome. I think it's cool. I mean, that's the kind of guy that a woman like that's the only kind of guy a woman like that even considers. Literally. 100%. So, that's awesome. Your knowledge of the female gaze is impeccable. I actually have I wanted to say, Nani, I actually had an idea for you. I think you should join these Facebook groups that I joined. One is called The Smut Hood, and one is called Cliterature, and it's basically women requesting it's like women talk about their kinks. And they're like, "Find me a romance novel, basically, with this kink." But I've been joining lately, and I've been feeling this is a really good way for guys to learn about women's kinks because they're basically, like, "I've got a hunger for more cowbell," but it's basically, "I've got a hankering for this kink, this scenario." And, then people will be like, "Oh, you gotta read this book, this book, this book, this book." But I'm like, this could be a way for guys to understand what female fantasies really are, what they're hungering for, what they're hankering for, what they crave deeply. You know what I mean? And I usually say, "Oh, just, go look at FetLife and stuff." But it's like, this is another great way, and perhaps even more immediate to understand these kinds of things. So I thought Nani might like that because he is a extra special student of the female gaze who always goes that extra mile to learn. And it seems his knowledge has really increased from the beginning. So L, thank you so much for your super chat. He says, "What do you think of giving a girl your number instead of taking theirs? Leaves the ball in their court. Too passive?" L, absolutely. Okay, it is way too passive. If it's just that's the it's better than nothing, but it's basically almost nothing. Okay? That's the problem, all right? If that was your only option, you tried. You just threw a Hail Mary or whatever, right? But you should never do that. Okay? If you can get their number, you should always get their number because when I was dating, if a guy gave me his number, I would never ever ever call him. The reason being I thought that would put me in kind of like a desperate masculine role. It's like these TikToks, if you might have seen 'em, where it's like, how I feel when a man gives me his number. And then it'll be like a girl like proposing to a guy, a girl like picking a guy up and like rocking him like a baby, a girl like paying for the meal. It's like it makes a girl feel like a man. The girl wants to be in the feminine role. So if you put her in the role of, I have to call this guy up, I have to ask this guy out, I have to pursue this guy, she's just not going to do it because she's got so many guys who are trying to pursue her that she'll wait for that. Do you know what I'm saying? So don't do it, L, okay? Because you'll just be wasting all your effort. Be like, let me get your number, put your number in my phone, and just ask for her number, okay? Even if you get rejected, trust me, your odds are going to be much better if you give her number, okay? Because any girl can just say, "Oh yeah, yeah, let me take your number," and then in her head think, "And I'm never going to call this guy, so I just got out of rejecting him I don't have to look like an asshole. I don't have to face confrontation. I can just take his number and never call him. And 99.999% of the time, that's what they're going to do, okay? So, make sense? Jolly Leprechaun says, yeah, I don't think she's going to call to be like, what up, homie, wanna bang? Exactly, Jolly Leprechaun. Exactly. Very well said. Jen Marie, she says, I had that happen also and didn't call. Exactly. All right, take it from Jen Marie. She's another woman, okay? And do you agree with my... Oh, and Jen Marie earlier had said exactly about the phone number. Okay, I'm so glad you agree. Yes. So take it from me and Jen Marie both here. So... Nils DeVille says, I feel like I'm becoming more beta the more I stand here. You're free to go, Nils. You're free to listen to Andrew Tate and see where it gets you, okay? Honestly. Sagunto, thank you so much for super chat. He says, if girls don't want to be guys, why are they less and less feminine and easy to date nowadays? Because a girl's definition of what makes her feminine, who she wants to be in dating, is not the same as a guy's definition of what makes a girl feminine, okay? Girls want different things in dating, and a girl's ideal situation in dating is very different than a guy's ideal situation in dating, okay? So girls have options, so they don't have to conform to what men want them to be, because they have more than enough men who are willing to accept what they're offering. In other words, Sagunto, okay? So you to just say, oh, women should be more feminine, that's just going to annoy them. That's just going to repel them. That's just going to irritate them, because what you think is feminine is not what girls think is feminine, okay? Now, if a girl were trying to get, like I said, a very rich, attractive guy, she would have to reevaluate and say, what does this guy think is feminine? Maybe I want to do it. What does he want? But most girls have more than enough guys who are willing to accept what they want. Okay, so they don't have to say, fuck what I want, fuck what I care about. I'm going to do what he wants. All right, so that's the reason, if that makes sense. Renew the R wand. Thank you so much, Renew the R wand. I really appreciate it. And let me see if you had written a question that I missed. Renew the R wand. Okay, let me see. And if I did miss it, please copy and paste it. Oh, I think I'm seeing it. All right, here we go. Renew the R wand blue says, renew the the R wand blue, yeah. Question similar to what Nils Davila asked earlier. Sam talking with a woman in a bar and another guy tries to butt into the conversation. Is it appropriate to act possessive/jealous in that situation as well and tell the guy to get lost? That is a tricky one. I renew the R wand blue. That is a really good question. It's tricky, okay? Because I feel like there's kind of like a balance, and we'll see what Jen Marie thinks about this as well, okay? You don't want to be that guy who just instantly is like, yo, what the hell, bro? And like starts trying to punch the guy in the head instantly, right? But you don't want to just let the guy walk all over you so you look like a beta. Look like a beta cuck who can't stick up for her. So basically, if the other guy is, in my opinion, kind of like being offensive or rude, to the girl, or your girl like definitely doesn't want to talk to the guy, I feel that would be a good situation where you should step up and try to like protect her a little and like defend her, because it's kind of like you're thinking, like in the girl's head, she's thinking, I can't really defend myself. I wish my boyfriend would kind of stick up for me and defend me. Like that's what a girl would often want in the scenario. But, you know, there's no need to escalate the situation unnecessarily if the guy's just like trying to talk, and you could be like, yeah, I'm her boyfriend or whatever. So you kind of have to gauge when it's kind of getting out of hand, when the girl's getting uncomfortable, and then kind of escalate accordingly. But you don't want to just act like, you know, crazy, basically, uncalibrated, and escalate unnecessarily. That, I think that from the woman's perspective, that would be the ideal scenario. If she starts getting uncomfortable, if she starts feeling threatened, if she starts feeling like, then she would want the guy to step in at a proportionate level to what, the other guy is giving. Okay. But yeah, until that point, you don't have to do anything crazy. You can kind of just de-escalate the scenario, in my opinion. What do you think, Jen Marie? Okay, we got so many super chats coming in. Thank you guys so much for all that. And that was a great question. Renew the R wand. It is tricky. Okay. So thank you so much. And now let's get to our super chats. Arturo Garcia. Wait, let's see if am I getting them in order here? Yes. Okay, let's hope. So Arturo Garcia is super chatting. Thank you so much, Arturo. And I'm going to look for your question. Oh, he said, out of love and respect. Oh, thank you so much, Arturo. That's so nice. Really dope. I'm looking for all your other comments because I might have missed them. Exactly. You got to call her. Well, I'm not sure if that love and respect is for me, but let's see. Arturo, I got you, baby. Oh, that's so nice, Arturo. Thank you so much. And if you have a question, Arturo, that I missed, because I've been looking in the chat and I don't necessarily see it, just copy and paste below. But thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Okay, I'll keep looking for that if there is one. So, okay, Sagunto, super chatty. Thank you, Sagunto. And he says, can you tell us more about how women view femininity? Okay, Sagunto, yeah. Well, I'd say like how, okay, so basically what a woman wants in dating, okay, is to be kind of treated like, oh, there's so much to this question. So I wish I had kind of more of like more to go off of like what aspect you really want, Sagunto. But let's look back at your other question, because so let's look back at this last one because this can help me frame it. If girls don't want to be guys, why are they less and less feminine and easy to date nowadays? Yeah. So I guess in your last question, you're basically saying that, if a girl doesn't want to be in the masculine role in dating, why don't they act the way guys want and just be easy to date? Yeah. Well, a girl's view of like, I mean, I don't know. These words like feminine and masculine, I mean, people use them in so many different ways. Basically, guys use feminine to mean like stuff I like, and girls use masculine to use like traits in men that I really like. So the definition varies, but basically, so your question is, tell us more about how women view femininity. Jen Marie, help me out here. Where should I begin? This is a large question. I mean, basically, what women want is to be treated like a princess, to be pursued, to be courted, to be seen for their personality and not just their looks, to be seen for their strength and kind of like their competence, as well as kind of being like babied and kind of nurtured and taken care of by a guy who they see as like strong and competent and confident. They want a guy to kind of like see them for who they are inside and to kind of be interested in their personality. What else is feminine? They want a guy to kind of like fight for them, to overcome obstacles for them, to want to be with them like all the time, um, to want to kind of like provide for them, protect them. These are typical things that girls kind of like want from guys and that they'll see as feminine. But what it doesn't involve is, oh, another thing they might want is like to be seen and kind of loved for all the faces of their different emotions and their feelings. Whereas, like, what I feel most guys see as feminine is like, she's innocent, she's pure, she's modest, she has a low body count, she doesn't attract many other guys, she doesn't like wear much makeup, so she doesn't attract many guys, or but she looks as if she's wearing like a full face of makeup, but it's just natural. And she what else? Like, she's very like smiling all the time. She doesn't make a big deal out of anything. She doesn't have many negative emotions. It's basically all smiles. She acts like extremely appreciative and grateful of like everything the guy does, and she never has like issues beyond that. Um, what else? Like, I don't know. I mean, this is not anything that women really find like appealing or attractive. It just kind of conflicts with their goals, their desires, and what they want. Whereas like guys are like, oh, that would be so perfect though, because I wouldn't have to worry about like other guys stealing her out from under me. I wouldn't have to worry about her being more experienced than me and comparing me to some like Chad in the past. I wouldn't have to worry about like her cheating on me and other guys mocking me and making fun of me. I wouldn't have to worry about like having the communication and relationship skills that I don't have to like solve these complicated emotions that I don't really understand. So it's like guys, you know, they want women to be something they're not, and they call that feminine. So I don't know if that helps again too, but yeah. So L super chatted me. Thank you so much, L. And he says, thanks, my dollar life. One more question. In the red pill community, they always say how you shouldn't take advice from women on how to attract women. Have any rebuttal? Um, I mean, yeah. I mean, if you guys want to watch red pill videos and take all their advice, be my guest, okay? If you think you're getting something from me and you're learning something about women from me, you can stay, okay? Nobody's forcing you to stay. The advice is free on both sides. So, well, actually, it's not always free on the red pill side, right? Because a lot of them charge, but their coaching programs or whatever. But maybe it's like the same as what I'm doing. But I mean, you shouldn't take advice from women. Yeah, I mean, a lot of women don't know much about their own desires in dating. Okay, because a lot of it is kind of like mating psychology. A lot of it takes studies to kind of like understand. A lot of it, we're kind of strangers to ourselves. A lot of it is unconscious mating behavior. We think we're attracted to this guy for one reason, but actually we're attracted to this guy for another reason. So most people don't really understand mating psychology. Okay, that's why like sexual scientists and sexual psychologists study it with actual science. Okay, so is it just women? No. Okay, men also have enormous blind spots. Okay, and women have enormous blind spots. But of course, when men are looking for dating advice, they're going to ask women. Well, guess what? They're not all social sexual psychologists. Okay, um many haven't looked into the topic very deeply. Okay. So, yeah, a lot of the advice you get from them, it's not good. All right. However, if you think that a woman has looked into it more deeply and does have something to offer, like, for example, I've been watching the YouTube channel of Alice Little lately, who is like the highest paid sex worker out there. Okay. She's had sex with like multiple thousands of men. Do you think she has nothing to say? Like, no, like certain women are going to have some interesting perspective and valuable experience and valuable advice. Um, Other women, they haven't looked into it too deeply and they've got all the typical female blind spots. And, you know, men have all the typical male blind spots. So it's annoying, but there's truth to it that you don't just expect some random person off the street to be an expert in any topic. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if that was the best rebuttal, but whatever. Okay. And thank you for the super chat. All right, so let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. Jen Marie, well, I wonder what you were saying this to. Awesome, Victoria. We got to get Jen Marie's advice as well here. She was agreeing with my definition, but I forget on what because I just ranted for so long. Oh, de-escalation shows he is confident and in control of himself. Okay, yes. All right, let's catch up on the cat. Oh, but we got Armando Laura. Thank you so much, Armando. He says, for super chat, he says, "Hi Vic, I feel guilty having casual sex with women. I know there is 100% chance I will have something serious with." Or did you mean 100% no chance I'll have something serious with, Armando? Or let me try to find the rest of your comment. Oh God, I feel like I'm skipping some people here, and I skipped. Oh no, I'm so sorry, guys. I'm looking in the chat, and I see I have skipped 2 people's super chats, but I'm gonna get to you guys next. So sorry about that. We'll just answer. Oh no, why isn't this giving me this in order? Well, Armando, I can't see the rest of. Oh, he forgot the no. Okay, so hi Vic. I feel guilty having casual sex with women. I know there's 100% no chance I will have something serious with. Yes, I don't see the rest where it says continues, but it makes sense. Okay. Yes. Um, what you have to understand, okay, is that unless you are lying to them, unless you are misleading them, you know, you haven't promised them anything, basically. Okay. And I know some people might think, I don't even want to take that chance. Okay. So I'm not going to have casual sex. Hey, you could pay for a sex worker. Okay. But the truth is that the woman could feel, you know what? The sex was good. I enjoyed that, even though there's no chance of something serious with this guy. Or, hey, maybe we could turn this into a friend with benefits situation, and that's something I would be into as well. Okay. But unless, so you haven't done anything wrong by having like consensual sex with someone. If she really wanted to not sleep with anyone who didn't want a relationship, it's really up to her to learn that lesson and to tell you that before, okay? And if she did and you lied about it and said, "Oh yeah, I see a future with us," then you would be at fault. But if she doesn't bring it up and you just have a nice date and then you kiss and then you have a make out and you go back to her place and you have sex, you haven't done anything wrong as long as it's been, consensual all the way through. And you haven't lied, okay? If you really want to be like super super upfront. Okay. When you get to the makeout, when it's like hot and heavy, you can like pull back and say basically like, I have to be completely honest with you. I really respect you. I love you. You're so why did I say I love you? You shouldn't say I love you. I don't know. That was just me thinking about my relationship, I guess. Scratch that. You could pull back and say something like, "You are so fucking hot. I want to have sex with you so bad, or I want to fuck you so bad. Your body's incredible. I really enjoy hanging out with you, okay? But I just have to let you know, like I'm not in a place right now in my life where I can have something like serious, but trust me, there's nothing I want to do more than get you naked and fuck you right now." Okay? That's being like insanely upfront and insanely complimentary and insanely honest. Okay? Because you're basically saying, trust me, I loved hanging out with you. You're fucking sexy. And I want to do this, but I also want to like be respectful. And she might say, because it's all hot and heavy at that point, like, yeah, I don't fucking care. I don't want anything serious right now either. And then you can have sex totally guilt free or whatever. But as long as you're not lying, this is how people do things. Like, it's really up to the woman if she wants to protect herself to make that clear, to make that known, and to find that out. Okay. So I know it's kind of hard because people assume, oh, all women want relationships. And well, that's somewhat true. They are kind of willing to accept different offers in different situations. Like maybe she's like, you know what? I really like having sex with Armando, and I could use a friend with benefit while I look for my alpha in love. So does that make sense, Armando? I don't think you have anything to really feel guilty with. But if you want to clear 100% of guilt, go ahead and be upfront with her. Just wait till you're in a heavy makeout, okay? Because that will be more enticing for her to go through with it. You know what I'm saying? Don't do it like the second you meet her on the date, because she'll probably just leave. Make sense? And what do you think, Jen Marie, if you're still here? All right, and now let's go to the other super chats. David Gonzalez, thank you so much, David. He says, keep up the great work. I just bought the Clitoris book. Amazing. Amazing, David. Thank you so much. Let me know what you think of that book. Okay. I mean, like I said, there's kind of a chapter written exclusively for men, but some men in the reviews were saying, like, I read the whole book and it's really good. But I feel like that book is just so powerful and groundbreaking. Like, that's the way I have sex. And it just makes so much sense that that's like the best way to have sex, which is basically like, what you do to come by yourself. That's what you need to be brave enough to bring into sex with another person. And unfortunately, that's what a lot of women are not brave enough to bring into the bedroom. And that's why the orgasm gap exists, basically. So if you as a man can be encouraging and understanding and realize that the quickest way for her to come is to do what she does by herself with you and you to help her with that, I mean, you're indispensable to a woman because she's going to come every single time and it's going to be just enhanced with your presence. So this is just so far from the way most guys think about sex. I mean, they're so fixated on like, oh, is my dick big enough? Is my dick long enough? Like, do I last long enough? Do I like pump hard enough? Like, is my rhythm right? And it's just like, none of that matters. None of it matters. It matters like a tiny, tiny bit, okay, compared to the elephant in the room, which is if you're not touching her genitalia, basically, her sexual organ, she's never going to come. So, you know what's really good and makes a sexual partner good? When you have orgasms, mind-blowing orgasms every single time. And the way to do that is to get her to talk to you and be brave enough to share with you the way she masturbates. Okay, because people basically wire in kind of like sexual pathways and it's hard to change. Okay, so asking someone to come a way that they don't normally come is difficult, and it's probably not going to lead to orgasm, a very intense orgasm. Okay, it's very difficult to rewire that. So that's why the book is just so amazing and so brilliant and so healing, in my opinion. So let me know what you think of it. Ayman Ragab. Thank you so much, Ayman. Or Amen. Apologize. Pasting question below because it's too long, lol. All right. Eamon says, should I just get used to chatting up everyone I think is attractive without thinking too hard about it? In malls, cafes, trains, etc. I have something in my head saying I'm being weird. Eamon, yes. Ideally, this is how women think men should act, okay? They should just be able to chat up everyone they think is attractive in kind of like a small talk, social skills way. And if the conversation goes well, ask for the number. That is 100% the ideal situation for a guy to be able to do. To have the social skills that whenever he thinks anyone is attractive, he can talk to them. Okay. Now, is that easy for most guys? No, it is not. Is that easy for anyone to talk to strangers like that? Well, some people, I guess, but not a lot, right? Some people just have the gift of gab and they chat with people wherever they go, but that's kind of a minority, right? So I just have something in my head saying I'm being weird. Yeah, I mean, it's tough to like break that barrier of kind of being like scared to talking to strangers. Yeah, like it's not easy, but if you could, it would serve you so well. Trust me, Amon. Yes. If you can get there, it's an incredible skill. So thank you so much for your super chat. Let me know what you think. And then we got Mean Rambler. Thank you so much, Mean Rambler. He says, I had a crush on a girl who started crushing on another. She doesn't know my crushing and keeps telling me about her crush, as she just sits beside me at work and I'm the only one she talks about her crush. Should I just run away or anything else I could do? Mean Rambler, this is not a good situation. You have a crush on a girl, but she's crushing on someone else. She doesn't know you're crushing, and she keeps telling you about her crush. This is terrible. This is torture. No, oh, this is terrible. Well, Mean Rambler, can you start trying to flirt with this girl or try to hang out with her outside of work? You need to get your own thing going with this girl, okay? And you need to just maybe tease her. You need to flirt with her. You need to get her number and start texting her yourself. Okay. You need to create some attraction with this girl. Don't just drop out of the race. You know what I'm saying? It's not over till it's over. This other guy she's crushing on, you know, she might change her mind once suddenly you start acting differently. Throwing a few like compliments. You need to either create some attraction with this girl by yourself so that she starts looking at you differently, or, which I don't think is very effective, you can just be like, I can't deal with this basically because I've got a crush on you. That's less likely to get her interested in you, but at least you will opt out of this torturous situation where you're just being like the shoulder to cry on or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So ideally, you'll just create attraction with her and you'll start flirting with her. But I don't think you have to put up with this. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to just be friend zoned like this, Mean Rambler. So what do you think? Do you think you have a shot at creating attraction with her? Can you start looks maxing and try to like have her be like, oh wow, is that a new haircut? Wow, that looks really good. Is that a new outfit? Oh yeah, I really like your style. And then, step things up with her, Mean Rambler. What do you think? So then Armando, thank you so much for super chat again, Armando. He says, "Thanks for your answer, Vic. I'm not misleading, huh? I just don't say this will be only casual because as you mentioned it, it will kill the lady boner." Yes. Yes. If you upfront in your initial dating profile, in your initial message, in your initial conversation, basically say this is only casual, most women will just block you. They might walk out on the date. You're not going to get very far. Okay. So, yeah, that's why I recommended saying it during the makeout. Okay. So, yeah, Armando. But it's good that you're not being misleading. But most people, they just don't say anything. They just leave it unsaid until they're specifically asked. Okay. So, what do you think, Armando? Armando says, from the female gaze perspective, is there a thought of if I will be with that guy I like, even if it is just for a while? Um, well, I wouldn't really necessarily as a female gaze, but women have sex drives too, okay? Some more than others. Women get horny too. Women sometimes just want to have sex, okay? So that's why she might be thinking with the female gaze, oh, I really need to find, the right guy to be in a relationship with, and I'm gonna go through all these guys on dating apps, and hopefully, I'll kiss some frogs and I'll kiss some guys and I'll hook up with some guys, but eventually I'm trying to find the right one. That's kind of like most women's like perspective, right? But during that, she might just be thinking, especially if she has a high sex drive, "Oh, I'm getting so horny and I want to find a guy who doesn't like repulse and disgust me to have sex with. So if I can find a guy who doesn't repulse and disgust me and doesn't turn me off with like every word out of his mouth, maybe he would be a good candidate to have sex with." Okay? So in that sense, they're looking for guys who, even if they can't have a relationship with them, at least they're not like disgusted by the guy and they like him enough to have sex with him. So just because you're not the guy for the long-term relationship doesn't mean she won't necessarily appreciate the fact that you're respectful, understanding, attractive, you know, masculine, taking the masculine role on the date. And she might think, hey, well, this guy doesn't necessarily want to be in a relationship with me, but he is good friends with benefits material. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, if that answers your question. Oh, Jen Marie says, take care, everyone. Thank you, Victoria. Jen Marie, it's so great to have you. Love having you here. Love your perspective. I hope you come back. And I've been kind of like not able to read all the chat tonight, so I'll have to go back and see what you said because I love getting your perspective as well. Another female. So goodbye, Jen Marie. Thanks for joining and thanks for sharing. So, all right, guys, that's thank you for all the amazing super chats. And I'm going to catch up in the chat. We didn't even have time for more quizzes because you guys were super chatting me so much. Thank you so much. Let's see if I missed anything from Arturo. So, well, guys, I should probably go to bed soon myself. Okay, Covers, this really surprises me. This what you're saying about the alabaster girl. I cannot. I tried Okay Covers, but yeah, I'm curious because I think it's you who keeps recommending it to me, but it was unbelievably bad. Like it was, I cannot understand it. That's why I really got to give it another try. So let's see. Alrighty, looking through the chat here. Oh God. Amen says, happy to hear that in a straightforward way. It helps me to know that that is expected to help me push through the awkward phase. Yep, amen. It is expected. Tully says, Victoria, can you give examples of Corey Wayne teachings that you don't like with an explanation? Letting her come at her own pace and letting her feelings develop. If an ex comes back, don't pursue her. Yeah, I mean,
Still on?
yeah, do you want to come?
I thought you were getting off.
I will if you want me to, but
But I don't know. It's not, you can do whatever you want.
I know, but do you want to join it?
Not especially.
Maybe just like for a few.
It's 1 a.m.
Okay.
We got to move tomorrow.
Okay, so we have to go then.
Well, you don't have to do anything.
Yeah. You don't want to go.
Look, it's not.
Okay.
I want to sit on the floor.
Okay. He doesn't
I
want.
look comfortable.
All right, he's not going to join. I thought it'd be good if we could get Beardo in for a question or two, but all right, I'll get off in like 5 minutes. All right, guys, I got 5 minutes, then I got to get off. So yeah, Tully's. I'm not, like I said, I'm not saying every single thing he said is bad. However, I would, it's been a few years since I read his book, so it would be really good if I actually had his book in front of me or some kind of list of the different points I disagreed with. But yeah, it's been a couple of years. But I'm not saying everything in it is pure trash. Okay, some things were pure trash. All right, some things were not. But yeah, I have to do a little refresher of the book to remember everything he said, where I disagreed, why I disagreed, and all that. Nani says, I'm taking out a mother of two out to a cocktail bar. She's told me how it's been a while since she's been out. I told her, let me take you out to a cocktail and just listen to you. Ooh, speaking to the female gaze. I'm sure she appreciated that, Nani. Sure she doesn't hear that very often. That's awesome, Nani. I love it. Let me know how that date goes. When's this date happening? Okay. PR Patil, I'm gonna have to mute you, okay? That's what I have to do for braggers. Okay, I'm gonna just put you in a small timeout, okay? Yes. Very good, you have BDD. Okay, are you happy now? Yeah. Alright, so I'm just gonna... Alright, guys. We got like 2 minutes. Anyone want to ask one last question, and then I gotta go? I don't think we have time for a quiz, but does anyone have last questions? If not, no worries. It's been an intense live. Okay. All right, guys. Well, Nani, I apologize. Well, I want you to tell me tell me what you find hot about that girl, because I feel like that would be kind of an intense way to end the live, because it would just probably like trigger guys, right? So maybe we should end on a positive note, but what do you think, Nani? Okay. You guys are saying some great stuff here. L says guys seem to think that treating women like crap attracts them these days. Never bought into it. Yeah, I mean, in certain situations, could there be some truth to it? Yes. In other situations, is it not good? Yes. So it's, complex, needs to be put in context. The experiment says, why did the kill all men trend become a thing? I haven't seen that. I guess I'm not up on that trend, kill all men. But I guess it's like radical misandrous, right? Then Tully says, okay, I will put a personal one. Don't put her on a pedestal as a common teacher and pickup. I went on a date once with a girl that says I want a man that puts me on a pedestal. Yes, I mean, some women want a man who puts them on a pedestal. And, the pickup things is kind of all about like, a girl who's a 10, who's like a model, who's constantly like worshipped by guys for her beauty. And you need a different approach to get to her if you don't also have like insanely good looks and you're a model herself. You need some way in, and the way in is not to just be like, you are a perfect divine being with incredible breasts and an incredible ass. Because, okay, they hear that all the time. All right. However, if a guy who is really good looking or really cool said that to them, they'd be like, okay, cool, thanks. But if you're a guy who hasn't look smacked, like the pickup people didn't used to look smacked very hard in the day, they need like a different kind of like reverse psychology strategy, right? Does that mean you guys should use that strategy? I mean, I tell you guys, look smacks, okay? Try to become Chad, and then you can put her on a pedestal, okay? But if you refuse to become Chad, if you refuse to look smacks, then perhaps you're going to have to look elsewhere and just being like, you're a beautiful goddess or whatever is not necessarily going to be good. But some girls, this is like their kink. They don't fucking care. They just want to be worshipped. They're going to look for guys who are going to put them on a pedestal. So, yeah, it's complicated, but Nani, I love it. It's all right. And oh, yes, I forgot to say, sorry, I'm at work. When I saw her yelling, I found it hot because she wasn't afraid to stand up to a man. Damn, Nani, that's an alpha attitude. Good for you. Very good. Space Storm says, thanks for the answers. Appreciate it. If women like flowers, be careful. They might be a swarm of bees. What the hell? What's that supposed to mean? Oh, God. Oh, God, Bob Bill. Come on now, Bob Bill. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Wait, did I miss this last super chat? Nope, I didn't. Okay. Thank you guys so much for literally super chatting me so much tonight. I really appreciate that. That's like super generous and nice of you. Some guys, such as, Nani and JG and JB and David and Armando, I know you guys are always like insanely generous. Some people like Segundo, Arturo, I don't know, Renewed R1, I know you from another live now, but it's great. Thank you guys all so much. Really appreciate it. If you guys want, Joshua, very perceptive of you. Good luck with the move. Thank you. If you guys want consultations, as always, we can talk about whatever in the consultations, okay, guys? We can talk about your situations. We can do a little lesson in dirty talk. We can do a little lesson in kinks and fetishes of women. We can talk about how to escalate when you get the girl back to your apartment. There's a lot we could talk about, okay, guys? So yeah, if you want a consultation, get one with me because I'm going on an extended break soon, okay? I haven't told you guys about that. But basically, there's only a few more weeks where I'm going to be doing the consultations till the new year. Okay? Because I haven't told you this, and hopefully I'll tell you soon, but something very positive is happening in my life. Okay? So, anyway, guys, thank you guys. And OK Cover says, you know what I like? You don't treat your superstars like some superficial women treat their simps, rinsing them of their money, attention, and stuff. You treat them as human beings. Oh God! So how do the other people treat them like simps? Like what do they do? I'm curious. OK Covers, but oh, thank you. I'm glad that you think I'm treating you like human beings. That's wonderful. And Moises says, just getting here now, but thank you, Victoria. Thank you, Moises. David says, Victoria, you really seem like a good person. David? I'm not all the time, okay? I've been lashing out at people left and right, so I'm sweet and spicy. Hello, the Wood Geek. And, all right, guys. Moises says, congrats. OK, Cover says, baby. Elle says, I think I know what it might be, lol. It's a surprise, guys. Nani says, thanks, Vic. We like positive change. Armando says, he super chatted me. He says, I'm glad for you, Vic. Is a baby coming? I cannot say, guys. Armando, I wish I could because of your generous super chat, but let's just say the male gaze lessons will come in handy, if you will. So, anyway, guys, thank you guys so much. And I hope you have a wonderful night. And if you haven't been on a date in 5 years, and if you haven't been on a date, get on a date, please. And if you can't get on a date, then see a sex worker. Okay, legal, right? Take a trip to Las Vegas, guys. Please, because it's not healthy to be like some of you out there, all right? Be happy. Enjoy life. All right, everyone. Have a wonderful day or night. Goodbye, everyone.